If I asked you what God thinks about wealth, what would you say? You were always told that money is evil. You were strictly taught that struggle is holy. You have been lied to your entire life. Modern religion tells you to just accept poverty, but heaven did not design you to live in constant fear of your bills. And the Creator never intended for you to spend your days trapped in a cycle of endless financial panic and desperation. You are tired in a way that sleep cannot fix. You pray for a breakthrough every single night. You work harder than anyone else you know. You hustle and you bleed for your family, but nothing ever seems to change for you. The financial mountain only gets heavier with time. You smile and pretend everything is fine, but inside your mind you are utterly exhausted. Every morning when you wake up, the heaviness is already sitting on your chest before you even open your eyes. They tell you to just pray harder and wait. They say that God is testing your faith through hardship. You believe that suffering makes you a better Christian. This is the greatest deception of our modern time. Suffering does not make you holy or righteous. It simply makes you weak and vulnerable. It keeps you trapped in a cycle of endless survival. Because the harsh truth is that you cannot serve the world when you cannot even afford to feed yourself and your family. Look closely at the elite 1% of society. They do not work harder than you do today. They do not pray more than you do. Yet money flows to them effortlessly and constantly. They attract wealth like a powerful magnetic force. The masses call it luck or divine blessing. The church calls it a dangerous worldly distraction. But the elite know a biological secret that was never written in your Sunday school lessons, and they pay their lawyers millions to keep it hidden from you. Before we dive deeper, I want to plant a seed in your mind. There is something carefully hidden from the public. It was discovered not in a motivational book, but inside a classified laboratory. It is a biological secret funded by elite billionaires and verified by top-tier neuroscience. It explains the frustrating gap between the wealth you pray for and the reality you wake up to, showing you exactly why your hard work has failed. I will reveal exactly what this is before we finish today. But first, you must understand why the financial deck was stacked against you from birth. Hold this specific question firmly in your mind. What if your struggle to attract abundance is not a lack of faith at all? What if it is simply a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on? The answer will completely challenge everything you thought you knew about God, money, and your own physical brain. The reason the universe responds to the 1% is entirely biological. It is not because they visualize better than you. It is not because they have stronger daily discipline. Deep inside your brain is a tiny, ancient region. It is called the human hippocampus. In the insanely wealthy, this region is thick, highly developed, and constantly active. It is constantly broadcasting a microscopic frequency that literally pulls money, opportunities, and luck toward them like a vacuum, ensuring they never have to worry about surviving another month. But for the average person, the daily reality is much darker. Because you were not born into massive wealth, you inherited a biological disadvantage. Science calls it a severely shrunken hippocampus. Instead of broadcasting a wealth frequency, your brain is trapped broadcasting a constant survival wave. And the modern world, with its endless stacks of bills and exhausting hustle culture, is designed to keep it exactly that way. Every time you stress over a late bill, this tiny region shrinks a little more. Every time you panic about rent, you damage your biological receiver. Your natural ability to attract abundance is pushed deeper into dormancy. You are desperately trying to manifest wealth while your internal biological receiver is completely powered down. You cannot outpray a misprogrammed mind because you must fix the biological receiver first before the universe can deliver the blessing. Most Christians will go to their graves believing they just did not pray hard enough. They will blame their lack of faith for their empty bank accounts. They will feel guilty for wanting a better life. Do not let them give you that toxic religious guilt. Wanting abundance is a pure divine instinct. The intense desire to create wealth and freedom is planted in you by the Supreme Creator himself. You are watching this because you belong to a different breed. You are the sovereign commander who refuses to let society dictate your fate. You have felt the powerful call to true greatness. You know deep down that you were meant for a life of total financial freedom, but perhaps you did not know how to finally break the invisible biological chains holding you back. The financial curse your family carried for generations is not a spiritual punishment. It is actually a shrunken piece of anatomy waiting to be awakened. You have spent years treating a biological problem with purely spiritual tools. It is exactly like trying to turn on a radio that has no power source connected to it. The divine signal is broadcasting all around you, but your physical machine is broken and simply cannot catch it, leaving you stranded in endless poverty. The wealth you visualize is not waiting for you to work harder. It is waiting for your internal receiver to finally be switched online. The universe has already arranged massive financial windfalls for your future. But they arrive as physical opportunities that your brain must be tuned perfectly to recognize, while a brain trapped in a chronic survival mode misses the recognition entirely. Remember the vital question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago, the one about whether your struggle was just a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on. You are about to see that the answer is scientifically proven beyond doubt. It is closer to you right now than you could ever possibly imagine. Let us begin to unravel the great deception and take back your power. Let us establish a fundamental truth about the universe. God operates by strict universal law, not by random human emotion or changing moods. The cosmos functions with absolute mathematical precision. The drifter falsely believes that God plays favorites with wealth, but the architect of destiny knows that abundance is simply a natural reaction to a specific mental state. You do not get what you simply ask for in life. You get exactly what you are. The drifter begs for money and remains forever poor because his frequency is desperation. But the Creator understands that wealth is not chased. Wealth is magnetized by the mind. And until you elevate the energetic signature of your dominant thoughts, no amount of physical labor will make you rich. This is where modern neuroscience perfectly intersects with ancient biblical wisdom. Your physical brain is the literal temple of your spirit. But if the temple is damaged, the spirit cannot manifest its divine power in the physical world. Faith, without a functioning biological receiver, is completely dead. And this brings us to the hidden biological mechanism of massive wealth. Here is the brutal truth the elite do not want you to know. The reason the universe responds to the 1% is not because they work harder than you. It is not because they visualize better, and it certainly is not because they have stronger discipline. The real difference is entirely biological. It lives deep inside the architecture of your own physical brain today. Deep inside your brain is a tiny walnut-sized region called the hippocampus. In the insanely wealthy, this specific region is thick, highly developed, and constantly broadcasting a massive signal. This microscopic frequency literally pulls money, opportunities, and massive luck toward them like a vacuum. It acts as an invisible net that catches wealth absolutely automatically. But for the average person, the daily reality is much darker and far more exhausting. Because you were not born into an 8-figure family, you inherited a biological disadvantage. Science calls it a shrunken hippocampus. Instead of broadcasting a wealth frequency, your brain is trapped broadcasting a constant, frantic survival wave every single minute of the day. The modern world is intentionally designed to keep it exactly that way. Endless stacks of bills and exhausting hustle culture keep your mind trapped in a state of constant panic. Every time you stress over money, this tiny region shrinks a little more. Your natural, God-given ability to attract abundance is pushed deeper and deeper into permanent dormancy. This is why you can read every self-help book for years with zero results. You practice the law of attraction and write down your goals every single morning. But you expect to manifest wealth while your internal receiver is completely powered down. You end up chasing money endlessly, while the elite simply let it flow to them effortlessly. It is a powerful biological block passed down from generation to generation. It quietly sabotages your highest potential while you blame yourself for not working hard enough. Most people will go to their graves believing they just lack the right business strategy or the right connections. They will never realize their anatomy was simply working against them. You are not most people. You are the sovereign commander of your life. And remember the vital question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago. I asked you, what if your struggle to attract abundance is not a lack of hustle, but a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on? You are about to see that the answer is scientifically proven and undeniably real. Let us look to the brilliant example of the great titans of history. Men like Andrew Carnegie and Thomas Edison did not have access to modern neuroscience laboratories. Yet they clearly understood the mechanics of this exact frequency. They spent hours sitting in total silence, tuning their minds away from the frantic survival wave of the common masses. They refused to let the noise of the world corrupt their mental architecture. The drifter fills his head with endless distractions and negative news. But the true builder guards his mental gates with absolute ruthless discipline. Your subconscious mind is a tireless contractor, and it builds exactly what you instruct it to before you fall asleep. If you go to sleep worrying about your massive debts, your contractor builds a reality of scarcity. You wake up perfectly primed to fail again. But when you operate on the billionaire frequency, your subconscious spends the entire night arranging lucrative synchronicities. You wake up and walk directly into the exact opportunities that you requested. God did not design your mind to be a prisoner of your circumstances. You were given absolute dominion over the earth and over your own reality. But dominion requires you to take control of the instrument you were given. You must stop waiting for a divine rescue mission when you already hold the master keys to the kingdom. The universe works by law, not by clock. It does not care how long you have been suffering or how many tears you have cried in secret. It only responds to the precise energetic frequency you are broadcasting right now. When you finally shift that frequency, the wealth you have been waiting decades for can materialize in a matter of days. This is not a philosophy. This is a biological and spiritual law. Just like the law of gravity, it works whether you believe in it or not. The 1% use this law to build generational empires, while the masses ignore it and stay poor. You must decide today which side of the invisible divide you belong on. We must confront the great paradox of the modern hustle. You are taught that relentless effort is the only path to wealth. You forcefully grind your way through your exhausting days. But no matter how much sleep you sacrifice for your job, you quickly realize that the harder you push forward, the further you fall behind the elite. The drifter blindly believes that trading more hours will somehow break the curse. The Creator knows this is a complete illusion. The universe does not reward your pure exhaustion. In fact, it aggressively rejects your panicked efforts. When you work yourself into a state of panic, you trigger the biological survival wave. Your shrunken hippocampus locks you into a frequency of absolute scarcity. You are broadcasting a desperate signal of lack to the universe, and the cosmos simply mirrors your intense desperation right back into your daily reality. You cannot receive a divine blessing when your hands are clenched in a desperate fist. You must learn the vital discipline of profound stillness. The ancient texts teach us that God works in the silent void. But your mind is never truly silent today. It is constantly screaming about unpaid bills and looming deadlines, making it completely impossible for the divine frequency to break through the overwhelming mental noise. Look closely at how the great titans actually lived. They did not hustle 24 hours a day like the modern fools. They fiercely protected their precious daily mental energy. They understood that the most important work happens when the physical body is at absolute rest. They mastered the sacred art of tuning their biological receiver to the precise frequency of abundance, completely bypassing the brutal struggle of the common working man. Consider the brilliant daily methods of Thomas Edison. He would take brief naps while holding a heavy metal ball in his hand. When he drifted into deep relaxation, the ball would drop and wake him up. He captured the exact moment his brain entered the twilight state, using that specific brainwave to bypass his conscious limitations and pull genius ideas directly from the infinite intelligence of the universe. You do not have to be a born genius to replicate this power. Your physical brain is just a biological machine waiting for the correct input. It is a powerful receiver designed to catch the wealth signal. But here is the massive problem that keeps you trapped in poverty. The modern human mind is far too damaged by chronic stress to reach this optimal state naturally, meaning you require a very specific external intervention to fix the broken hardware. You try to sit in total silence and meditate. You try to force positive affirmations into your tired mind. But your anxiety simply screams louder than your prayers. You cannot simply wish your shrunken hippocampus back to health using sheer willpower, because a broken receiver cannot fix itself using the exact same weak frequency that originally caused the extensive biological damage. Before we go any further, I have to share a breakthrough that changes everything, something the elite billionaires have spent vast fortunes to keep hidden from the public. It is the ultimate key to bypassing your biological block entirely. A rogue neuroscientist formerly working on classified CIA experiments recently leaked a shocking discovery to the outside world, exposing the exact biological secret of the global elite. They found a way to wake up that dormant wealth frequency. They discovered a proven method to rapidly reverse the terrible effects of a shrunken hippocampus. The incredible biological solution was actually completely unexpected. And they did not do it through decades of exhausting meditation or relentless journaling or waking up at 4 a.m. to forcefully cultivate a fake hustle mindset. They discovered something infinitely simpler and far more powerful than traditional self-help. They engineered a precise and perfectly calibrated 7-minute acoustic sound frequency. The clinical results are absolutely undeniable and immediate. When listened to in a quiet environment, this specific acoustic wave bypasses your conscious mind entirely and directly stimulates that tiny ancient region of your dormant physical brain. 4 independent neuroscience labs have already verified this incredible phenomenon. Researchers on the prestigious campuses of Harvard and Yale are observing this exact brainwave activation right now. They quickly uncovered a profound and immediate neurological reaction. They found that once this specific frequency is heard, it forcefully commands the brain to stop broadcasting the toxic survival wave that has been keeping you poor. It immediately flips the switch on your natural biological ability to attract massive wealth. It is a completely effortless at-home daily ritual. You just need 7 short minutes every single day. The profound energetic shift begins the very first time you listen to the audio track, allowing you to literally reprogram your deeply flawed mental architecture without doing any hard conscious work. I will tell you exactly what this powerful tool is called before this message ends. I will show you exactly how you can access this frequency for yourself. But first, there is one final piece of the puzzle you must deeply understand. You must finally realize exactly why the popular law of attraction has been failing you so miserably all these years despite your best efforts. The drifter will hear about this verified science and still choose the familiar struggle. They are secretly addicted to their own brutal exhaustion. They falsely believe their endless pain makes them holy. They wear their daily burnout like a heavy badge of honor, completely blind to the fact that they are just digging their own financial grave deeper and deeper every single day. But the sovereign commander knows that blind martyrdom is never a winning strategy. You must drop the foolish pride of the endless modern hustle. You must allow the universe to do the heavy lifting for you. The Creator builds his massive empire by aligning his biology with the laws of nature, rather than stubbornly fighting against the current with a broken mind and a completely tired spirit. You must make a choice tonight. The time for playing the victim is completely over. You can no longer blame the economy or your external circumstances. The universe is waiting for a disciplined thinker. It is waiting for a conscious creator who refuses to let mental noise dictate his future. You must declare an end to the endless drift. You have tolerated mediocrity for far too long. You let fear write the script of your life, while the elite build empires. This chapter of silent suffering must end right now. A new chapter only begins with a radical decision to take back your power. Stop waiting for a miracle and start acting like the sovereign commander you are. Remember the question I asked you to hold at the beginning of this message. I asked, what if your financial struggle is not a lack of hustle? What if it is simply a dormant frequency waiting to be awakened? Here is the final answer that will change your reality forever. The exact mechanism has finally been brought into the light. A microscopic wealth attraction frequency is naturally active in the 1%. It is powerfully driven by a thick and highly developed region of the brain called the hippocampus. Classified CIA research originally confirmed this hidden biological truth, and 4 independent neuroscience labs have recently verified it beyond any shadow of a doubt. Researchers on the campuses of Harvard and Yale are observing this activation right now. Dr. Thomas Summers is a rogue New York neuroscientist who formerly worked on these top-secret experiments. He absolutely refused to let elite billionaires keep this biological cheat code hidden from the middle class. He spent years compressing the clinical protocol into a simple audio track. Before I tell you what they built, let me tell you about 2 people who used it. Emma was a former nurse from California who felt her family was under a severe financial curse. She was totally exhausted and drowning in massive debt. After just 3 days of listening, she broke the cycle completely and sold her house for way over the asking price. Emma now travels the world on passive income and shares this massive abundance with her children. Michael was a former policeman in Florida who started using the frequency to scale his struggling business. Within 5 days, he quadrupled his high-paying clients. He quickly found himself networking with elites who put him on television to share his crazy journey. That incredible transformation is precisely what Dr. Summers and his researchers discovered. They call it the billionaire brainwave. It is not a generic manifestation app or a basic motivation tape. It is a highly engineered 7-minute binaural sound wave designed to directly stimulate your hippocampus and pull it out of deep dormancy. That is the entirety of the daily work required. You just need 7 minutes in the morning with your headphones on and your eyes closed. You do not journal about your desires. You do not repeat forced affirmations into a mirror. You simply let the precise sound frequency rewire your physical brain to receive massive abundance effortlessly. The billionaire brainwave is definitely not for everyone. It is reserved for the visionary who has already done the inner work. It is for the creator who understands that what is blocking their wealth is a biological receiver waiting to be switched on. If your spirit confirms this is for you, the path to your new empire is waiting below. Private neuroacoustic sessions to reverse a shrunken hippocampus cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a clinical setting. Elite billionaires invest massive fortunes to access this exact brainwave. But what Dr. Summers leaked to the public is available to you today for a tiny fraction of its true value. It costs less than a few cups of coffee to equip your mind. 4 powerful bonuses are included to support your brand new reality. You will receive the Warren Buffett Pyramid to help you manage and multiply your massive new wealth. You will also get the 7 lazy millionaire habits to decode the effortless routines of the elite. These vital tools ensure you stay rich without working hard. The package also includes a quick cash manifestation audio track designed for attracting immediate lump sums in sudden emergencies. Finally, you will receive 500 billionaire success stories to keep your brain anchored in abundance. This inspiring collection of real-life case studies will elevate your daily mindset. Here is the deeper truth about waiting to take action. The immense wealth and opportunities you have been praying for are already circling you today. The blessing is not missing from your life. Your biological receiver is simply broken. The chosen one who restores their frequency today finally sees the financial windfalls that were always waiting in their path. Delaying this restoration means letting your divine inheritance remain totally invisible. Every day of suppression is another golden opportunity that registered as ordinary and slipped away forever. Do not let your wealth pass you by just because your mind was trapped in a toxic survival wave. You must command your frequency right now. You must protect your mental architecture from dangerous fakes. Do not look for this specific frequency on YouTube or Spotify. The tracks circulating under similar names on those public platforms have zero binaural entrainment technology encoded inside them. They are cheap imitations engineered by the elite to distract you and keep you poor. The only authentic version is available through the official link that has been placed in the description and the pinned comment below. It comes with the billionaire ironclad promise. The universe requires absolutely no financial risk from you. If you do not experience an undeniable increase in your wealth, every penny is returned to you. It is a pure energetic exchange, governed by complete trust. Click the link in the description and the pinned comment to claim your biological inheritance. The tool is not the final destination. It simply repairs your biological receiver so the wealth you visualize can finally materialize in your physical world. The universe requires no transaction for you to deserve this incredible life. What the researchers built is just one powerful accelerator to help you cross the bridge. Whether you choose that specific path or not, let us go deeper into preparing your mind. You must be mentally prepared to receive the massive opportunities ahead. Wealth is not simply a financial reward for your suffering. It is a massive cosmic responsibility placed upon your shoulders. The universe demands that you steward this incredible abundance with absolute clarity and unshakable discipline. You must actively build a mental architecture that cannot be shaken by the daily storms of the masses. The ordinary drifter begs for money without ever preparing his internal vessel to hold it. If you receive immense power with a broken mind, you will quickly lose it all. You have seen lottery winners go completely bankrupt within a few short years. That tragedy happens because their frequency was never properly aligned with their bank accounts. They inherited the kingdom, but they tragically kept the weak mindset of a desperate peasant who is afraid of success. You must never let that happen to your own legacy. You are the architect of your own glorious destiny. You do not just sit around and ask the sky for riches. You command them through your unshakable faith and relentless internal repetition while trusting the divine process. The blind consumer simply waits for a miracle to save his life, but the true creator decides his fate and initiates the powerful shift today. For the visionary ready to switch their internal wealth receiver on, the tool I described earlier remains fully accessible in the pinned comment below. That is the absolute final time I will mention it to you. The closing of this message is meant strictly for your mental sealing. We must now finalize your sacred vow to the universe. You must begin to practice cosmic housekeeping starting tonight. It is time to ruthlessly cut off the toxic relationships that drain your precious energy. You must eliminate the negative news that constantly programs your subconscious mind to expect failure because it silently destroys your ability to attract any real wealth. You must become an absolutely unforgiving gatekeeper of your own mind. No uninvited, fearful thought should ever cross your mental borders again. When a thought of poverty tries to enter your temple, you must strike it down. You cannot afford the extreme luxury of a negative thought. Every single negative emotion you entertain is a heavy brick you use to build your own prison. The man who realizes this begins to treat his thoughts as powerful weapons instead of harmless toys. Your mind is a sacred fortress that must be protected. You must actively act as if you have already won the final battle. Walk like a victorious king even when your bank account is currently empty. Speak with the absolute certainty of a man who knows his ultimate victory is already secured in the unseen realm. The universe has no choice but to bend to a truly disciplined mind. It must flawlessly mirror your profound internal state. The season of drifting in the dark is officially over. You have heard the timeless law of the cosmos. You now know that every excuse you ever made was nothing but a fragile shadow. Tonight, as you finally close your eyes, you must make a permanent choice that will dictate the rest of your natural life. Will you return to the endless chaos of the masses tomorrow morning, or will you boldly step into the quiet power of the 1%? There is no neutral ground left for you to stand on. You are either moving forward into the light or slipping backward into the dark abyss. The universe does not tolerate hesitation from its chosen commanders, because destiny requires a firm decision before it can deliver the reward. You must burn the ships and leave yourself absolutely no path of retreat. True wealth only flows to the man who has completely eliminated the option of failure. If you are genuinely ready to command your new destiny, you must seal your decision right now. Write your definite purpose in the comments below this video. Let those exact written words be the binding contract you sign with the Supreme Creator tonight. Do not just type them passively like a drifter. Type them with the burning conviction of a man claiming his rightful throne. Write the words, "I am the master of my fate," in the comments. Say this powerful declaration aloud in your empty room. Let the vibration of these ancient words rewire your mind and shift your physical reality. Share this specific lesson with the one person who is building an empire alongside you. Leave the weak-minded drifters behind and completely align yourself with the true builders who understand how to bend reality. This knowledge is incredibly heavy and demanding for the average mind. It will not serve you if you hear it only once and let it fade into the noise of tomorrow. The subconscious mind requires relentless repetition to build a brand new world. Therefore, I command you to listen to this lesson again and again. Play it as you sleep and let it wash over your dormant mind. Play it as you work through your daily tasks. Make these strict principles the only voice you tolerate in your head from this day forward. Subscribe to this channel if you truly walk this sacred path. Join the exclusive ranks of those who absolutely refuse to drift through life. Your new life begins in this exact moment of decision. You must say to yourself that you are done with small thinking. You are completely done playing the helpless victim to your circumstances. That painful chapter of your life is permanently over. A glorious new chapter begins right now with a single ruthless decision. Hesitation is the ultimate death of your divine destiny. Make the decision right now and step into your immense power before this opportunity vanishes forever. Do not let the sun rise tomorrow on the same tired version of yourself. When you wake up, you must put your feet on the floor with absolute intention. You are no longer the exhausted worker begging for a small break. You are the sovereign commander stepping onto his personal battlefield. The universe is watching your every single move to see if you are truly ready to receive the immense wealth you asked for. The world is desperately waiting for a conscious creator. It is waiting for a man who has chosen to rise above the mental noise and walk in absolute authority. That incredible man is already alive inside of you. It is finally time to wake him up and take your rightful place. Claim your magnificent empire today.